Representative, welcome back to the program. House Bill 20 particularly stands out to a lot of people, not just the Mexican American Legislative Caucus, for that one line that says law-abiding citizens can participate in border operations. That seems unprecedented.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. One of the broad sweeping bills that we are dealing with this session is something that wouldn't just impact the border community. A new border protection unit actually has statewide impact. So when we think about Dallas, these civilians who are untrained could set up checkpoints in our own city, questioning us as Americans about whether we are citizens or not, and without consequence. The initial version of the bill had absolute immunity, criminal and civil immunity for these civilians in this new unit, which is of significant concern and should be of significant concern for every Texan. We shouldn't be questioned about whether we are Americans by this new unit that has broad sweeping consequences.
And the new unit will be part of the Texas Department of Public Safety. My understanding, reading the most recent version of the bill, is the law-abiding citizens would not have arrest authority, but could still participate. Does that make things any easier?
There are provisions in the bill that discuss that in certain circumstances that they would have arrest authority. And when you look at language about even felony trespass, American citizens, if they even cross without the consent of a landowner, say even when they're coming back from Oklahoma to Texas or Louisiana to Texas, an American citizen can now be charged with a third-degree felony trespass under this language of the bill. It's not just limited anymore to border regions or migrants. This is something that will impact every person in Texas.
Explain that. How would they be charged with a felony if they come back from the northern part of our border?
So the language of the bill applies to every single border of our state, including our border with Oklahoma. So I think of folks that drive up to Oklahoma to go to the casinos and under this bill could encounter checkpoints on the Texas side of the border by these vigilantes, individuals who sign up to question people's citizenship. And so, but in particular, if an individual crosses the land of another person on a border without the consent of that person, they can be charged with a third-degree felony, not a misdemeanor. And that's the serious concern, because we know that this bill is trying to test how far a state can go with respect to the supremacy clause and federal preemption with respect to immigration laws. But it's just gone so extreme where, the entire state is impacted. It's a statewide bill with civilian vigilantes who will have a right to question our Americanism without consequence.
House Bill 20 is a lower bill number, signaling it is a priority bill. Do you expect this thing to move?
We have been highlighting a lot of the significant concerns of the detrimental impact of this legislation. And, we had a long hearing last night until 3 a.m. in the morning, roughly, with hundreds of people who signed up to testify against the bill and the implications of it. And really, when you look at the constitutional provisions, it's an extreme bill that we're going to work hard to ensure does not get signed into law because of the massive impact on our fellow neighbors.
House Bill 20, at last check for me at least, was left pending in committee. It had not been voted out of the State Affairs Committee in the House of Representatives. Do you expect that to happen?
We are in ongoing discussions with the bill author as well as various other leaders in the Texas House about the language of the bill. And so
what are you asking to be changed? Are you asking I mean, ideally, it sounds like you'd like to throw it out, but I presume that there's something you'd like to be changed inside there?
There are numerous significant concerns, but I think the main thing is that you're essentially creating this new unit. You're taking powers away from DPS. There's already a shortage of law enforcement officers, and you're creating this entirely new system, this new, that's going to have little to no oversight. And so there's significant concern even on the other side of the aisle about the language of this legislation. And so we're going to continue to work on this, but we need folks to know that this isn't just a border bill. This is major, has statewide impact and ramifications for every Texan.
That's a good point about law enforcement, how difficult it is to find people who want to work as law enforcement officers today. Last question for you, though, Representative. If this were to pass, how do you think it would play out? What would it look like in the state?
I think when we think of, back home in Dallas, I'm at the Capitol right now, and we think of the hard work that law enforcement is doing to build up community relations. And you're going to have these civilians, non-law enforcement, that are going to be able to set up shop throughout the state, be able to pull people over. They can, under the law, arrest, detain, repel, even citizens. That's going to create a mess for our local law enforcement to clean up, which is of significant concern. We need to be building police community relations, not destroying them by having these civilian vigilantes operating throughout our state.
Representative, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.